This video is for everyone who hates Mondays. So, you're in the middle of your chaotic morning routine, already late for work, and boom. Your full cup of coffee that you've been dying to drink to make you feel slightly more alive decides it's time to defy gravity. Next thing you know, your freshly ironed white shirt is now the scene of a caffeine crime. What do? Cry like a little baby? Scream? Probably unleash a string of swear words that would put a sailor to shame. Or just maybe grow up, stop acting like a child, and channel your inner Stoic philosopher and tackle this mess with Zen-like calmness. Welcome to Why Cry Over Spilled Milk? Like a Little Baby, a Stoic's guide to handling everyday disasters. If you're watching this video, then you have nothing better to do, so sit back and listen. Maybe this will shake you, and just maybe you will change the way you react to certain things that happen to you in everyday life. We're diving into the wisdom of ancient Stoics like my man Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, and seeing how their teachings can help us handle the modern-day messes we create. So grab a towel, a sense of humor, and get ready to navigate life's little disasters with a smile. All right, before we dive into the deep end of Stoic wisdom, let's talk about the classic disaster, the spilt milk scenario. Picture this. You've just poured yourself a bowl of cereal, the sugary kind that changes the color of milk and tastes like sugar. The milk is flowing, the cereal is perfectly crisp, and then, boom! Disaster strikes. Milk everywhere. It's oozing into every nook and cranny of your kitchen table, dripping onto the floor and soaking your socks. Fantastic, right? No. Now, a non-Stoic might lose their cool and go on a mini rampage like a little... never mind. But what would our man Marcus Aurelius say? He'd say something like, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Oh, Marcus, you wise old friend. So he's basically telling us it's not the spilled milk that's the issue, but how we react to it. The milk is spilled, it's done, get over it. No amount of whining is going to magically put it back in the carton. So instead of throwing a fit, why not take a deep breath and use this as a chance to practice a little tranquility and acceptance? Or, just grab a mop and clean it up like a normal person. Technology. The best thing since sliced bread and Nutella, yet our worst nightmare. Now imagine this. You've been slaving away like a good worker bee on an important project for hours, and just as you're about to hit save, your computer decides, "Nah, brew, I'm done." The screen goes black. Your work vanishes into the digital void, and your soul feels like it's been sucked into a black hole. Panic sets in, and suddenly, the idea of living off-grid in a cabin with wolves sounds pretty appealing. But before you start Googling how to survive in the wilderness eating trees, let's see what our Stoic boys have to say. Seneca once dropped this gem. "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." All right, Seneca, how does this help when my project just got Thanos snapped? He's basically saying that our obsession with external stuff, like our precious project, is what makes us miserable. It's not the lost work that's the real issue, but our unhealthy attachment to it. So screw it. Embrace the crash as a lesson in letting go and building resilience. And hey, maybe take this as a not-so-subtle hint to not be an idiot and to back up your work more often. Because let's face it, even the Stoics can't save us from our own stupidity. In the age of social media, one dumb post can turn into a train wreck of epic proportions. Picture this. You just posted what you thought was the funniest meme ever, only to realize you've managed to insult half your friends and family. The comments are pouring in, and they're brutal. You're starting to feel shitty for posting it, but deleting it will probably make it worse. But wait, channel your inner Epictetus. He'd probably say something like, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Instead of going into full meltdown mode, take a second to breathe. Everyone screws up sometimes, and guess what? This will blow over. Apologize if you need to, but don't let it ruin your day. Even the smartest philosophers had their own oops moments. So own it, laugh it off, and move on. And maybe next time, think twice before you post something stupid. Or not. Whatever. We've all been there. You're about to walk into an important meeting or step onto the stage for a presentation. You're already nervous and feel like you want to be sick. And you suddenly realize there's a rip in your pants, a stain on your shirt, or even better, you've been walking around with toilet paper stuck to your shoe. Awesome, right? Before you drown in a sea of embarrassment and want the world to eat you up, let's see what our Stoic mates have to say. Marcus Aurelius would probably hit us with, "Reject your sense of injury, and the injury itself disappears." Translation: It's not the wardrobe malfunction that's embarrassing, it's how you react to it. So what if your outfit isn't flawless? Walk with confidence, shrug it off, and keep moving. Your audience probably cares more about what you're saying than what you're wearing. And if they don't, well, that's their problem, not yours. You've planned this dinner party for weeks, splurged on the best ingredients to impress people you probably don't really care about that much, and even dug out that old family recipe. But when the timer rings, you open the oven to discover your culinary masterpiece has transformed into a charcoal brick. The guests are arriving in an hour, and takeout is looking like your only savior. You're sure you can pass it off as your food. Instead of diving into despair, let's hear from our Stoic chef Seneca. Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. Translation: This kitchen disaster is just a workout for your brain. Laugh it off and see it as a chance to get creative. Bond with your guests over a hilarious story and some good takeout. Remember, it's the company that counts, not the cuisine. So, pour a glass of wine, dial that takeout number, and get ready to turn this mess into a memorable night. You're at the airport, all set for your long-awaited vacation, and then you hear the dreaded announcement. Your flight is delayed indefinitely. People around you are losing their minds, and you can feel your own blood pressure skyrocketing. Cue Epictetus to the rescue. There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. In other words, the flight delay is out of your control, so why bother getting worked up and punching a wall? Instead of joining the angry mob at the gate, use this time to chill out. Read that book you've been ignoring, or chat up a fellow traveler. Who knows, you might end up with a new friend or a killer book recommendation. Stoicism is all about finding calm in the chaos, so take a deep breath and roll with it. Relationships, whether romantic or not, are prime territory for everyday disasters. Maybe you've just had a heated argument with your significant other over something as earth-shattering as the right way to load the dishwasher. The tension is thicker than cold gravy, and you're seriously considering a life without dishwashers. Enter Marcus Aurelius with his gem. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Basically, when you're in the middle of this stupid argument and wish you lived with 12 cats instead of your partner, it's easy to lash out. But the Stoic move is to stay chill, be compassionate, and not sink to pettiness. Suck it up and apologize if you need to, talk it out, and remember that this dishwasher drama isn't the end of the world. It's just a chance to learn how to handle conflicts and maybe even get closer. So instead of plotting your escape to a dishwasher-free utopia, use this as a moment to show some Stoic wisdom. You've been busting your ass for months, training for that marathon of a lifetime, early nights, no Netflix, no junk food or alcohol, and then, a week before the big day, bam. You catch a nasty cold. Instead of picturing yourself triumphantly crossing the finish line, you're stuck on the couch, surrounded by a mountain of tissues and drowning in self-pity. Enter Seneca, dropping some truth bombs. A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. Translation? Yeah, getting sick sucks, but it's also a chance to chill out and take care of yourself. Focus on kicking that cold's ass, and maybe use this downtime to reflect on your journey to marathon greatness. There'll be other races, and trust me, this setback is just adding to your epic comeback story. So grab some chicken soup, binge watch some Netflix, and remember, you're just polishing that gem of resilience for the next challenge. Welcome to a financial mess. Maybe you threw your hard-earned cash into a can't-miss multi-level marketing scam that turned out to be a total flop, and you ended up with 600 bottles of foot cream. Or you just realized you've been paying out for a subscription you forgot about ages ago. The numbers aren't looking too rosy, and panic's starting to creep in like a bad case of buyer's remorse. But fear not, my friend, because here comes Epictetus with his little nugget of wisdom. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Translation? Yeah, okay, you messed up, but that doesn't mean you're doomed forever. Instead of freaking out over the loss, take this as a chance to reassess your spending habits and financial goals. Trim down your wish list, and you'll realize that true wealth isn't about flashy materialistic stuff. It's about being content and chill with what you've got. So take a deep breath, maybe cut back on those impulse buys, and remember, money can't buy happiness, but it sure can buy a lot of tacos. Oh, the joys of parenting, like when your toddler decides to unleash a meltdown of epic proportions right in the middle of the grocery store. Cue the ear-piercing demon screams and the flailing limbs, while everyone within a mile radius stares like they've never seen a kid lose their marbles before. But fear not, because Marcus Aurelius swoops in with his golden nugget. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Translation? Your little one's meltdown isn't a roadblock. It's a chance to level up your parenting game. Instead of worrying about what Karen in aisle 3 thinks, focus on calming your kid down and handling the chaos like a boss. Because let's face it, parenting is basically a crash course in Stoicism. Every tantrum is just another opportunity to practice patience, empathy, and not losing your cool in public. So take a deep breath, grab that abandoned cart, and march on like the stoic parent warrior you are. Good old pets, the furry bundles of chaos we willingly invite into our lives. Maybe your dog has mistaken your new couch for a gourmet chew toy, or your cat's turned your prized houseplant into her personal jungle gym. It's like living in a zoo sometimes, am I right? But don't worry, because Seneca's here to drop some wisdom bombs. The greatest blessings of mankind are within us and within our reach. A wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what he has not. Translation? Yeah, your pet's shenanigans can be a pain in the ass, and sometimes you want to kick them out, but you know you never will, because they're also a reminder of the love and laughter they bring into your life. So, embrace the chaos, laugh at the stupid shit they do, and remember that in the grand scheme of things, your material possessions are worth squat compared to the unconditional love of a four-legged dinosaur. So what if your couch looks like it survived a zombie apocalypse? It's a small price to pay for the joy of having a furry buddy by your side. All right, throughout this short guide, we've been diving into how Stoic philosophy can be your secret weapon for handling life's curveballs with style, humor, and a touch of wisdom. From milk spills to money mishaps, the OG Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, have been schooling us on how to keep our cool when everything blows up. They're basically saying, life's gonna throw stuff at you, but it's how you handle it that counts. Wise words, right? So, next time disaster strikes, big or small, just take a deep breath and take a page from the Stoic playbook. Take a deep breath, crack a smile, and remember Marcus Aurelius's gem. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. With that mindset, we can tackle life's curveballs head-on, turning disasters into golden opportunities for growth and a good laugh. Because hey, according to the Stoics, it's all about how you choose to see the world, with a sense of calm, humor, and a hefty dose of resilience. So bring it on, universe. We're ready for whatever you've got. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel.